Welcome back to Brit Rants, where we call out the greed that's tearing this country apart. We're told to tighten our belts, to do our bit, while CEOs cash in, landlords bleed us dry, and politicians look the other way. This isn't just the cost of living anymore, it's the cost of greed. From food to fuel, housing to heating, everything's unaffordable because the rich are bleeding Britain dry. Today, we're diving into the true price of their greed. The TikTok fury is real, and so is the anger on the streets. If you're sick of working harder just to have less, hit subscribe, and let's expose this racket together.
Isn't it ironic how we've been in a cost of living crisis really since 2008? But ever since then, every company has been having record-breaking profits every year. Productivity has been at the highest level it's ever been. We generate more money into our economy every year, and there doesn't seem to be an end in sight. It's almost as if we've actually been living in a cost of greed crisis all this time, and we're waiting for the point where rich people are going to be saying, okay, I have enough money. But there's never been a rich person who's ever said that throughout history, and there never will be. So while we keep slaving away, attacking each other, while the rich openly buy our politicians, offer them seats in companies that they have no interest in working in, they've literally brought all our media, and there doesn't seem to be any end in sight. Not in our lifetimes anyway. So what do you guys think? Are we in a cost of living crisis or a cost of greed crisis? And how do we end this?
The main reason prices are so damn high when you go to the store is greedflation. Indiana, give me 90 seconds and I'll explain greedflation. When underlying costs rise, corporations pass their business costs onto consumers. That causes inflation. But then when corporations use that inflation as an excuse to jack up their prices and their profits, that is greedflation. Let me give you an example. Two companies control almost all of the US diaper market. Now, diaper prices have gone up 30% since 2019. The rise was mostly because of an increase in wood pulp, a major component of diapers. And wood pulp prices went up until January of 2023 when the prices for wood pulp dropped. But guess what didn't drop? Diaper prices. Even though the prices to make diapers went down, diapers didn't get any cheaper at the store. Instead, executives at both companies bragged about their increased profits. They flat out said on earnings calls that the decreased underlying cost to make the diapers is the major reason that their profits increased. So that makes you feel the pain of inflation while they feel the joy of increased profits. That is greedflation.
If you don't like the changes that we've made, I say the door is open and you can leave.
Hey love, did you hear that? Kay said we don't have to be here if we don't want. What do you reckon? Should we Oh, did it? That's good, innit? We should have a look online. We'll have a look tonight. We'll order a takeaway and we'll have a look at it. Yeah, alright love, we'll do that then. How much have you got in your savings at the moment? Oh, I don't know love, but I'll get me universal credits at the end of the month, so we could probably use that, couldn't we? 1,500 quid. But what we'll do, we'll leave the kids at my mum's. Think it'll be better for us. Yeah, it sounds like a plan that love. We'll do that then. Well, I've got a bit of money coming in anyway, from my little side hustles. So I'll go to the bank now, check it, and we'll see what we've got. Hey baby, I'll just check the bank. I've only got 30 quid left. What the f*** are we gonna do? Kay's not give us the amenities to even make money, and every time we make money, he finds a way to tax it. So it looks like we're just staying there, babe. Oh, for f***'s sake, can't win with you. You've never got any money. Joke you are. Don't lie, I'm with you.
Is anyone affording to actually live in the UK? How are you managing financially? Council tax, insurance tax, income tax, capital gains tax, NHS tax. Bro, you just have a million taxes and then they're going to start charging tax on the tax you pay so you can later pay more tax. Bro, I can't fathom it. How are people surviving in the UK, let alone thriving, when you just got constant payments you got to make? And bear in mind, that's excluding your standard like rent and your bills and your food and what you need for actual survival. It's like, bro, we're all paying this extortionate amount of money for what? For the services that are terrible. I can't even go see see my GP within a 3-week period if I wanted to. And then this is our standard weather where it's just great. It's like, bro, thank God. I'm so blessed and so grateful that I'm in a position financially where I can afford to maintain all these ridiculous payments that I got to be making. But it's like, bro, for the average working class person, bro, I feel for you, because how are you surviving, bro? I'd genuinely be out here on the streets with the regular 9-to-5 income, like struggling to even eat if it was all of these expenses stacking up and I had a regular wage. I don't even know what I'm spending money on. But yeah, right now it's looking really appealing. Like, I really understand why people are just selling everything they have and moving to Asia, because it's just less stress. You're not getting threatened from HMRC and random institutions every other week for payments that you didn't know you had to make. It's like, bro, like, I'm actually sick and tired of it. Like, I'm 1 bill away from just getting rid of this apartment, selling my car, and just going to Asia, because, like, bro, I've had enough.
Okay, I'm gonna move out the way. Guess how much all this was, yeah? Guess how much? 4 items. Pads and a meal deal. Pads and a meal deal. Let's just guess that. £6.70. Who's paying that? Who is paying that? Me, the absolute fool, the clown. Yeah, £6.70. And that was meant to be what? 6, 7, 8. That would have been £9. £9. 9 British pounds for 4 items. You know, that's nearly someone's hourly pay. Like, a few more pounds, a couple more pounds, like 1, 2, 3 more pounds. That's an hour's work gone for sanitary pads and a meal deal for 1 day. Come on. Like, the UK has actually lost the plot. They've lost the plot. I'm done. I'm finished. And people are coming at me in the comments on my last video saying, oh, the UK is what you make it. Life's what you make it. You know, you can do this. No. The stuff, we're in a cost of living crisis here. The stuff that we pay for to live is costing way too much. Like, we work to live. We don't work to do anything else but live and survive.
How on earth did I just spend £3 on one of those Mr. Whippy ice creams from the ice cream van with a flake? £3. They used to be 99p. Not even a whole Great British pound. I paid 3. That was almost as much as my parking for 3 hours. And to top it off, my friend said the other day that it was £3 just for the ice cream, and you had to pay an extra £1 for the flake that was that big. What on earth is going on?
This is another reason we're leaving this country. We want some lamb mincemeat kebab and it's £7.50. Look at the pack. The size of my hand. Getting absolutely ripped off in this country.
£7.50.
And I've had enough. City.
Okay guys, I hate complaining. I love living in London, like, it's beautiful, but like, honestly, why is it costing me £6.90 now to brush my teeth? And that's not only it, £7.15 for toothpaste, for...
What if I told you that Starbucks paid absolutely £0 in corporation tax for profits made into the year up to September 2024? But that's because, not that they didn't make money, they made over £500 million in sales. Sales declined 4% amidst controversy, how it treats its workers, how it treated those who linked it with what Israel is doing in Gaza, described as genocide. But besides that, what it did was it paid £40 million in royalty fees to its parent company, Starbucks, basically International. And that pushed it into loss-making territory, which meant that it didn't have to pay corporation tax. Despite the fact that in the UK we have crumbling roads, we have crumbling hospitals and schools, we have the highest level of child poverty for 20 years, but governments can't extract tax from companies that make millions and billions of pounds worldwide. And how can we change that? How can we make sure that everybody pays their fair share? If you'd like to find out more, then see the caption down below, but tap, follow, and share for much, much more from Nova.
So we've just had the budget. I now can't afford to die. If I die, the tax bill will be so great that my children will not be able to afford to pay it. I mean, they've not even left school yet. Some haven't even started school. But don't worry. If you've done well in life, bought yourself a nice house in the country with a pony paddock, you're not going to be taxed when you die. Your kids can inherit your £1 million mansion for no tax. But if you're a farming business with land, which is your shop floor for producing food, now the government want 20% of that on your death. Now, no one minds paying tax when they're making money, but when we're not making money, what do we pay the tax with? We're just going to have to sell the land. it's just been devalued 20% because that's the tax bill attached to it. When it all starts coming on the market, it's going to be devalued even more. Well, who's going to want to farm anyway? We're not making any money. The hours are long, the days are long. The weather is rubbish. They say never work with children and animals. Well, Mother Nature's a cow. We've just wiped out UK agriculture because no one wants to do it anymore. No one wanted to do it anyway before the budget because it's been so difficult the last few years. And we were only really doing it for our kids. No one owns a farm. You look after it for the next generation. And now 20% of that the government wants on your death. What is the point? It's just... I'm lost for words. I know I've just talked, but I'm lost for words. Absolutely ludicrous.
I will never understand why people are deemed entitled for wanting a one-bed apartment. A one-bed apartment? We're not talking about a f***ing house. A one-bed apartment on a full-time wage. On a full-time wage. Like, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I live with somebody I like. But like, what do you mean? I have to spend most of my life working and I can't afford a one-bed flat to rent. Rent. And again, you're so entitled. Back in my fuck off with your back in my day bollocks. Back in your day, you could buy a f***ing house. Being a f***ing postman. Like, I've seen people charge nearly £1,000 for a f***ing box room. A fucking box room. You gotta be f***ing kidding me. That is half of someone's f***ing wage for a f***ing box room. What are they gonna f***ing put in that box room apart from the horizontal body? That's barely a f***ing wardrobe. They barely can have own anything. They just live in a f***ing box room. Like, yeah, this is my room. Huh? Like, why is it so f***ing normalised to live with a bunch of weirdo f***ing strangers who don't know how to f***ing take out a bin? How to wash their own f***ing dishes and they're like in their mid-40s. Again, I'm very lucky. I'm lucky. I live with someone who is my friend and is good to live with. And I don't have a box room. But I f***ing see it all the time. It's what the f***?
What's happening in Russia is a genuine crisis.
No. What's happening in the UK is a genuine crisis. Inflation rates off the scale. Interest rates going up what would seem to be every single month. I saw something the other day where people are having to sell their houses and live in tents. So there's these tent cities popping up everywhere. You've got police not even investigating shoplifting for anything under around about £400 or £500. I don't know the exact figure, but the US it's $950. Not even bothering. We've got ULEZ schemes going up in the outskirts of London, which means that people can't even afford to go into, not even central London, but just parts and boroughs of London that they've been operating in for years, can't run a business in there anymore. We don't know what a man is anymore. We don't know what a woman is anymore. Our police have turned into woke warriors that are doing silly dancing parades at the Notting Hill Carnival and getting sexually assaulted by the looks of it. By members of the public, but guess what? They're not doing anything about it. We've got one of the worst political parties ever in history trying to run things. The Conservative Party are tearing themselves apart at the seams. So unfortunately, mate, people aren't really interested in what's going off over in Russia and the Ukraine. Some of the woke brigade might have put the silly flags in their profiles on Facebook and whatnot, saying that they're all for this Ukraine and whatever it is. But actually, when push comes to shove, and prices at the fuel pump are 160 again, people are going to stop caring about stuff that's on the TV. Because it's not affecting my life one bit. What is affecting my life is the fact that energy bills are going up again. Diesel's gone up by 10 pence a litre in about 2 weeks. And the Prime Minister and all his mates are swanning off to Disneyland and spending 15 grand on a meal. They couldn't give a shit about us. So guess what? The vast majority of people couldn't give a shit about what's going off in Russia.
Asda, can we have a word, please? I can't believe it. I've just done an Asda order and I've just done a haul for my YouTube channel. And I got this on there. This has gone up. I bought this at the end of February. It's now the end of March. And I bought it at the end of February for £2.78. I do believe something like that. It is now £4. Whoop! £4. What is that all about? Asda.
You're not imagining it. Your weekly shop really is more expensive. Prices in the supermarket are now 4.7% higher than this time last year. That's the biggest jump in grocery inflation since March 2023. And it's not just a one-off. Analysts from Kantar say this is part of a trend. Your cornflakes, bread, and even bog roll all getting pricier. This tiny punnet now costs the same as a cinema ticket, no popcorn included. But rising prices haven't scared shoppers away. Brits made nearly 490 million supermarket trips last month. That's the most we've done since the pandemic. So forget panic buying toilet roll. This is tactical shopping now.
So what's your strategy?
Budget ninja.
Bargain queen? Or just crying in the freezer like the rest of us?
No money to spend. The guy who runs the company that owns All Bar One, Harvester, Toby Carvery and Browns is saying that young people are using social media too much and that's how they're connecting to each other these days, and that's affecting the nightlife business of companies like his for clubs and bars and restaurants because young people aren't going out anymore. We're fucking broke. All Bar One charges like 12 quid for a cocktail and it's like £8 for a glass of wine. I have got no money. My rent is going up 10% every year. My energy bills just went up 6% and my wages ain't going up anywhere. My weekly shop at Aldi used to cost 40 quid just a few years ago. Now it's about 70 quid. The top 1,000 richest people in the country are now worth about 1.4 trillion. And when I was born in 1993, it was less than 100 billion. Go complain to them. They've got all the money, not us. You guys let free market capitalism run so far that Uber came into the country, destroyed the taxi industry to such a point where it undercut it, now to the point where it dominates so much that on a night out with my friends, if I want to get home, they do the surcharging. It costs like 4 to 5 times the amount it should just to get home in a taxi. Like a night out now for a lot of people to go to a restaurant, meet up with your friends, have some drinks, go out to a nightclub where they'll charge 20 to 25 quid for entry with dickhead bouncers will cost you literally 150 quid to go out on a good night out. And you're complaining. This is your fault.
See, this is why I can't live in this country. £4 for this. So I don't know if it's just me, but I personally feel like that's a fucking piss take, to be honest. Look. How many chips are in there? I could count them chips. £4 for that. That must have cost about 40 pence to make. And the thing is, I was so close to saying something as well to the girl when she put it down on the counter, but I felt bad because she was like, she looked like she just started a job or something. But I really wanted to say, is that it? But I didn't. I held my tongue. I thought, Chantel, just leave it. Just leave it. Just put your salt and vinegar on and leave the shop. Because this is just what life is now. You're just going to have to deal with it, love.
Okay, here are some things I wish I knew about London before moving here. I've been living there for 2 years now. Okay, number one is quite obvious. Cost of living. Rent, tuition, all of that. Yeah, expensive. But like, even Mackey's is expensive. I don't care if I sound dumb, but like a regular Mackey's menu is at least £12. Going to Central, £5. And I'm a Zone 1 babe. I haven't gone shopping for like 2 months because it's literally so expensive just going into Central. Number two, I'm actually quite surprised about this. You have to pre-book everything. Literally activities, events, dinners, everything. You have to pre-book them. I'm scrolling on TikTok, right? Why am I seeing events in like August? Tickets are being sold now and they're sold out. Sorry, what? Currently April and I have to plan an event for August. I'm very much a type B person. I'm very like last minute, so this doesn't work for me. I packed the same day I'm going on holiday. So pre-booking like months in advance, we can't. You want to go one way, sicker? Perfect. Book a month in advance. Number three, Londoners, they stay in their ends. But I feel like people do this everywhere though. But especially here. Like Londoners, they don't go to Central. So if you ever ask a Londoner like, oh, name a good restaurant in Central, they're gonna be like, I don't know. I don't go to Central.